we generated around 560 plus million impressions organically. Those
creating property cards for the first time for people owning houses in the rural areas.
We have a patent on a bits technology, which...
But we were really guided by what we wanted it to be.
In terms of the content consumption pattern has changed.
Very competitive, very crowded.
The objective is basically to democratize cancer care.
I see a very bright future for retail industry.
Technology now allows us to scale up.
We also want to help patients become more compliant.
If I look at the custom solutions market, it's almost about $1,500 billion.
Your customers will not continue to be with you if you don't change gear.
We had adopted digitalization much earlier.
within a very short span of time, we are the number one operator in the whole of South India.
If you are reaching out to a lakh people today, you would be reaching out to an entire globe tomorrow.
We got those two brands and then immediately got into a few of the LFRs, and there was no looking back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 48th episode of Ascent Talks. My name is Ajit Panikar, and I've been an Ascent member for 10 years, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech-enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. And my co-host is here with me, and he is frozen straight out of Antarctica. This is the tech challenge that we have out here, but his screen is frozen. So I'm not sure. Ali, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but you're frozen on the screen, my friend.
You want to start again, Ajit? Sorry.
No, I'm good about it. Not an issue. So let's go for it. So for all of us who are joining us for the first time, till Aleem kind of gets his screen up and running, let's get going with our talk show. Ascent is a non-profit organization that helps entrepreneurs grow their businesses. It was founded by Harsh Mariwala in 2012 and has helped over 850 entrepreneurs. Ascent's key feature is its trust groups where entrepreneurs can share experiences and ideas. Ascent Talks is hosted weekly to showcase the journeys of its members. So, Aleem, okay, so he's not there. So let me introduce our guest today. Our guest today is Qadir Rangwalla. Qadir is the director at Vista Packaging, and Vista Packaging is a pioneer in the manufacture of CPP films, flexible laminate, and pouches for the food and FMCG applications. And they work with some of the largest retailers worldwide to provide custom packaging solutions. And some of their end user customers are really big names that you would really, it's anybody would love to have names like this: Tesco, Walmart, Marks and Spencers, Morrison's, Carrefour, etc. Oh my God, that's really big. So welcome, Qadir. Great to have you on our show today.
Thank you, Ajit. Happy to be here and happy to be part of these talks.
All right. There comes my co-host. He's back from Antarctica. He's not frozen anymore, and he's back here.
Hi, guys. Hi. Sorry, I got a little late. I'm sure the introductions are done by now. So, hi, Qadir. How are you doing?
Very good. Yeah. Nice to see you. Unfrozen.
Unfrozen? Okay, that's great. That's great. Elsa's hand is off me. I'm in my daughter's room, so I'm assuming that's why. Right. But yeah, anyway, Qadir, Ajit, have you started asking the question? I'm sorry, I'm a little late here.
No, just get going. Just get going.
Fantastic. Qadir, why don't you tell us what is CPC films, what is flexible laminates, and what is pouches in the food, and tell us your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah. So basically, plastics or polymers are of various types. They all look like plastic film, but PP is a short form for something called polypropylene. So you have polypropylene, polyethylene, polyester. These are the main kind of polyvinyl chloride or polyamide. Polypropylene is one form of polymer which we make. It's fairly common in the food industry. It has certain properties which make it good for packing food. So that is how CPP is. Flexible laminates are polymers which are fused together or laminated in a way. And flexible being that they are flexible in nature. They're not rigid like some domes or some kind of punnets that you see. So they can be shaped into pouches, and pouches are like bags or stand-up pouches that you see for the snack industry. So that's kind of the stuff that we do.
And tell us your entrepreneurial journey. How did this start and how did this go about? Yeah, also.
So just being an entrepreneurial journey, if I come back, it was started by my dad. Like I've said, it's a second generation company. We are running it as second generation entrepreneurs right now. So my dad saw an opportunity for such a film. A lot of film when he started was polyethylene, which was a different kind of film. And polypropylene was a new technology at that point of time. And we saw an opportunity there to expand our film and food business. Originally, like my surname says, Rangwalla, we were into the business of dyes and chemicals. And at that time, we used to make color for the leather and paper industry. And this was an opportunity we saw to diversify our business. So we came into packaging, and food packaging was something we identified as being, always in demand and having an only expanding market. So I feel that that decision has been vindicated on our journey as well. So that's how we got into it. And we have only grown, added multiple lines, come in the second generation of business, professionalized our operations, got more features. And now we are in the last challenge of an evolving industry where we face sustainability and environmental concerns. So we have to reinvent ourselves again now.
That's interesting, Qadir. But Qadir, taking from your entrepreneurial journey, I have two questions coming around this.
Right.
One is the most standard question. How was the transition moving from father to son? I mean, how did that happen? And everyone has a story in that transition, right?
Yeah.
And in trust groups where we've been with Ascent, this is something that we share and we kind of learn from each other. So two factors. One is this transition, and second is you probably got in because you saw the opportunities around this industry. So tell us about both. How big is this industry? What are the opportunities around it? And this entire transition phase to the next generation.
Okay, so let's start. You know how it is when you're in a second generation business and you're in a family minded, business minded family rather. You end up going to the factory or even the office when you're very young. So the journey from becoming Qadir Baba to Qadir Bhai to Qadir Sir is fraught with challenges, and you have to earn your stripes along the way, And what I feel is that I've been fortunate where my dad has been a good boss who has allowed us a lot of freedom to make mistakes also, and also been there to, help us when the proverbial shit hits the ceiling due to our mistakes also. So he's been fairly good. Another aspect I've had on my entrepreneurial journey that made it easier was my brother joining business at the same time as we. And we have, I would believe, complementary skill sets. So while he took a huge share of the responsibility as well, I got a share of the responsibility towards the marketing, sales, finance side, and he got it towards the production, HR, and maintenance side. So it also made things easier knowing that there was a family member with shared values who I can trust, totally on one side of things and concentrate on my side of business. But coming back to how the baton was passed, I feel it happened when you take on projects that were lingering or not being able to take up by the first generation in terms of just modernizing or professionalizing the business, in terms of IT, in terms of processes, in terms of things like that. There is resistance, but when you push through that and people see the benefit coming on the other side, then you actually earn your stripes and say, yes, this person has brought positive change, or these people rather have brought positive change. And it's time that they are capable of leading the organization in their own right. So that was mainly it.
And what about the opportunities? How big is this industry? What is actually happening around this industry? Do you see a lot of growth potential within this industry or innovation that's expected to happen?
The industry is anyway huge in terms of packaging opportunities. There are just a few metrics which I'll give you. The per consumption, the per capita consumption per person, in India is about 4 kgs of plastic, whereas in a developed country like US is about 26 to 27 kgs. So
Wow.
that is something that's a difference we can get there. Now the growth opportunity is there because, brands are coming up, packaged food is coming up, people want to increase shelf life for their products. But we're also facing a challenge having sustainable, recyclable options which maintain the full functionality of these products. So that is what we are working on. We have done a lot of work. So that is the opportunity going forward. And like I said, in terms of numbers, it's, $80 billion plus in terms of those industries. So of course, my figures could be a bit off as it's always a growing and evolving industry. But food packaging is, yes, huge.
Fantastic. And Qadir, you're also an export house. So how do you go about acquiring new customers, internationally and things like that?
So the first thing we did was, to acquire good customers more than marketing. Marketing is one aspect of it, right? But you have to set up your factory in such a way to be able to cater to the demands of these demanding clients. So you may go and have your marketing efforts, but if your back end, your factory certifications, your operations, your management systems do not align with the requirement of these customers, you might not be able to acquire these customers at all, no matter what kind of marketing efforts you make. So we have focused on acquiring, the correct certifications and putting management systems in place which are world class. Some of our food safety standards, our management standards, and our ethical trading standards are at par with any organization world over. So that has been a factor which has tremendously helped us. Second has been acquiring trade shows, traveling extensively, meeting the right customers, and providing products which add value to customers at the end. If you don't add value, no matter what you do, it'll be very difficult. So a combination of all these things and good customer service, ethical practices, everything have helped us expand our customer base.
Fabulous.
So Qadir, so Qadir, there's one of the things that I really want to touch upon is this whole journey from Qadir Baba to Qadir Bhai. Okay,
right.
This whole journey when this transition happened, what are the kind of big challenges that you faced? Yeah, and I want you to break it up in two parts, because usually when you get into as a second generation, there are already a certain amount of loyalists to the founder, to your dad. How do you actually go through that whole journey, and how do you actually grow up in their eyes and get them to work with you? And overall, what are the big challenges that you face within the industry?
Yeah, see, so you're right. Loyalists who, work with my dad, not only that, they have a certain kind of emotional connect with him as well, where even though I might add value to the business, they would not share the same emotional connect with me, and they have seen me grow up in a way there was always resistance. So like I said, the first thing is doing maybe difficult things in the organization, which nobody wants to touch, because as it is, there's going to be resistance. And since we are younger, we have projects like IT, just simple things like modernizing just the email systems or the process system, or, even something as simple as setting up a whole CCTV circuit in the whole company with professional, inputs. As simple as that. That gives us project, and that, gives tangible results, which can do something and earn respect in their eyes. However, I feel that when a transition happens after, the second generation learns or has a hang, or even slightly hang of business, you have to get your own people in, and that's a difficult transition for the business, for the people who have been loyal also. But without that, it does not, in my experience, really help the transition fully. You have to have your own people then at the end.
Wow, and that's a tough one, right? Actually, to bring it, yeah, and I'm glad that you're being honest about it. That most people try to be hunky dory and sweet about it, but it's great that because often bringing in and bringing these two together is always the biggest challenge that you kind of face.
No, it is tough, and it's not easy, and it's something that we don't like to do also. Sometimes it happens that the loyalists see the writing on the wall and leave on their own, for whatever reason. Sometimes tough decisions have to be taken. But if that baton has to be passed, the team has to evolve with the second gen. And that's a harsh reality of any business, I feel, not only ours.
True. Qadir, can you tell us, since you're in plastic, there's a lot of talk about sustainability these days.
Correct.
So what are you doing about sustainability? What is the talk about sustainability? And, how are you evolving in this very dynamic landscape?
Yeah, so you're correct. Now the perception about plastic has really changed. Plastic though is a very versatile product which offers a lot of functionality for food packaging. At least it offers a lot of benefits. But currently the perception is against plastic, and even earlier, not all plastic film was recyclable. It used to go in landfill. So the work we have done, or rather a lot of work around the whole industry, and Vista has been at the forefront of this, is to make packaging recyclable while maintaining the full functionality that the product requires. So that has been a key challenge. We are not losing any functionality by making the packaging recyclable, and we are also adding recycled content in our packaging. So we are reducing the carbon footprint, and by making the packaging recyclable, they can be collected and then reprocessed into granules, which can be made into other products. So hence, it contributes to a whole circular economy, what we are calling it. So that is, in a nutshell, what we have done. Have recyclable packaging without losing functionality.
Interesting.
Qadir, just because you spoke about sustainability, and this is a big word now, literally affecting all the industries, including the industry that I work in. But the strong belief that you have is sustainability is that this is just a big buzzword, and it's very difficult to adopt, and especially in countries like ours, where we tend to say that, listen, my consumption is just 4 kgs per person, while yours is 26, 23. You do sustainability first, you pay the price for the damage that you've done. Because when I involve sustainability into my business, I don't become competitive and I lose out on this. Is that a fact? Is sustainability in our country, in our context, more of a buzzword, or does it really have a role to play in the businesses, and is it practical? And I think I want you to throw some light around that.
No, see, first we have to understand being sustainable does add cost. But the good news in this scenario is that the push is coming from the consumer directly. Okay, the consumers themselves want to be seen as making some changes, and hence the brand owners or the brands or the big brands that we work with are all making the changes in line with their customer requirements. Okay. Secondly, it is our shared responsibility, to protect the environment anyway, no matter what the cost. So it is a role, and we are working all together with governments abroad, governments locally as well, to put in place collection programs to collect this packaging to make it recyclable. A lot of issues that we face now is due to collection methods not being in place and irresponsible disposal methods of plastic. So that is something we have to work with, evolve as a society, and evolve our practices around this as well. So it's not only the product, it is a product and our practices that will help us achieve sustainability.
Yes, absolutely. Qadir, you're an Ascent member. Tell us about your Ascent journey. I've been in your group for a meeting once, but tell us about your Ascent journey.
In fact, I was speaking to Ajit also. Ajit's neighbor is the one, my friend Abhinav, who introduced me to the Ascent journey. And he was telling me since a while to join Ascent, but I don't think I was ready mentally. I was so focused on my own business and being busy with that I did not pay attention to what he says. But one day, in a moment of, I don't know, clarity or whatever, I realized that I need maybe self-improvement as well in my thought process, in my contribution to business, etc. So I considered this again. And when I joined Ascent and I saw this trust group and the sharing within the trust group, and how everybody is working towards business, working towards growth, that really opened up my mind and even my personal development journey. And it has helped me focus on growth in all aspects of my life. personal, professional, and everything. So I'm very glad that I took this step and made my first steps towards self-improvement.
And now there's a members only summit. So there's a members only summit coming up. So all of you who haven't registered for it, please register for it, because only if you're an Ascent member can you attend the Ascent summit, as what it's called this time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, usually it used to be a conclave where everybody could come and explain this.
Yeah.
Now it's gatewalled. It's only the members that can go, because in all
round
fairness, because in all fairness, the membership itself has become very big, right? Now it's about 900 odd members. So you open it up and it's so difficult to get it. But Qadir, a little about yourself before we actually get further ahead is tell us a little about your personal hobbies. Share some of your. I know you're a nature lover, so tell me something about that. What does it mean to be a nature lover? That is one of the things that you told me. Even I love nature. Even Aleem loved it. There's nobody who does this. But what does it mean to be a nature lover? Please explain to our viewers.
Yes. So my first, like I said, I'm a real sports buff, and I love the thrill of competitive sports. And I like playing different kinds of sports, and participate in a lot of events and even watch that. I like wildlife safaris a lot. That's something I said a lot. So I go to a lot of places. In fact, last month I was in the Masai Mara, trying to track lions over there, and it was a great journey. And when I say nature, I love, even these wildlife safaris. When I see the animals and when I see nature, it brings me so much at peace. Just realizing that there are so many different kinds of creatures in the world, and we all have to coexist. And sometimes they are so magnificent when you see them in nature, in the habitat as such, and it brings so much peace and clarity of mind. So that's what I meant by being in nature, where you are present in the moment, within the elements, in that way. So it really brings, not in the bustle of the city, in fact, where you actually get to listen to the birds, see the greens, and crystallize and clarify your own thoughts. Something.
Nice.
Yesterday or day before yesterday, Apple released a film which was the sustainability report about how they're taking care of the entire environment. I think it's a fantastic film, must watch. Anybody who hasn't watched it, about how what they're doing for sustainability, what they're doing with nature, and basically they have Mother Nature come and enter the boardroom, and they have a conversation. It's a fantastic film. I think everybody should watch it. Yeah.
I would also like to just point out. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So companies are making a lot of efforts towards packaging and getting products which are sustainable. A lot of onus lies on consumers as well to change behavior towards disposal, towards utilization, and towards being responsible as well. Unless the end mile, that is the consumer, and the disposal by the consumer is responsibly tackled, a lot of this will be eyewash as well. From you can make sustainable products, but if it's not used responsibly, it might have consequences.
But Qadir, one of my learnings is while the consumer wants to know about it, I've also realized if you ask him, he says, will you waste water? Of course not, I'll not waste water. But he doesn't know, how do I save water? See, what happens is, I want to be environment friendly. I am conscious about it, but how is my contribution when I go to buy a product, or anything? Most of us don't realize the impact. And that is where the challenge is when you say the last mile, or the consumer, when he has to put a demand. See, a customer requirement can drive so much of a change, it can bring about changes. And the challenge in sustainability is, how do you educate the customer? Because there's sustainability on so many different kinds of products which you consume in a daily life, And have you guys ever thought about how do you actually make more and more customers realize about this change, or what is it that you should look for?
Yes, like I said, we are working, but it's going to be, tough, because it's tough to drive behavioral change. But there is education regarding how to recycle, the benefits of recycle products, the benefit of recyclable products, and how one can contribute. but it is still in nascent stages. We require help from authorities as well, and all-round societal change. But we have had a start, so it is good. But it is a long way towards where we have to go.
That's great. Qadir, tell us about your personal life, about your family, about where you live, and what do you do in your free time?
Yeah. So I stay in Bandra.
Sorry, what he means is, hang on, let me interrupt you.
Right.
Free time, apart from bird watching. All right, he's very clear about it.
Apart
from
animal.
Animal watching. Okay. Sorry about that. Please.
So no, I mean my family. Let's break it up. It's my wife Nabila. She's into interior design, and now she runs a home bakery. I have two kids, Zara and Adam, age 12 and 6.
Nice.
My dad is in a business, guiding us all the time. My mother is setting our family values and trying to shape our legacy and spending time with the grandkids right now. My brother Ali is also in business with us. Like I said, he handles the production side and the maintenance side of things. And Ali's wife Zoya, she's an interior designer. So that's our family in a nutshell. And yeah, in my free time, let's say I there's something that started recently. We play a lot of cricket, me and my brother. Okay, and something that has really taken off now is amateur cricket, whereby my children don't play for the school team, but all the dads play for the team.
Yes.
The dads play against each other cricket, so weekends are spent playing cricket and some kind of sport. So that's it. Yeah, and then of course I travel extensively from my work, so I'm not there many weeks in town, but when I'm here, I like spending time with family and of course catching up with my sport.
Amazing, Qadir. Qadir, has been fun listening to you, and especially for you being very upfront and frank about a second generation coming in. And people tend to sugarcoat it when they are out there in the open public. But you've been very upfront to share those challenges, and I think that's what Ascent is all about, right? We speak it the way it is, only to learn and to share experiences. Thank you so much, Qadir. It's been absolutely pleasure listening to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. See you.
Nice talk. See you. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you very much. Oh man, he was really up. He was straight up saying that listen, loyalty
Nothing plastic about it.
Will have nothing. Absolutely nothing plastic about it. Straight up, man. But I guess it was fun listening to him, and talking about sustainability. Also, I think that's a big challenge, for the whole printing industry and the packaging industry. And how do I safeguard my interest while being friendly with climate change and everything? But I think a fantastic session, a lot of learning. So to all our viewers today, we are at the end of the show, and there are two things you can do. If you're an entrepreneur, just happy doing what you do, follow us on the LinkedIn profile, and we will bring you a new story every Friday at 11 o'clock that will inspire you to share that video with other entrepreneurs. It's a nice conversation starter. You should do it. But if you truly believe that the next decade is the era for India, and you want to be part of that growth story, and you believe that you are growth ready, then you should visit ascentfoundation.in and apply for membership. Now, here's a bit of a rider. Note this option is not like you pay a fee and become an Ascent member immediately. The Ascent team will get in touch with you. They will evaluate your business. And if you're a truly growth-ready entrepreneur, then we'll be happy to have you as part of our cohort. So that's it for this Friday today. And we are going to see you next Friday at 11 a.m. With another interesting story. But for most of you, we have an Ascent Summit. Ali, you want to talk about the Ascent Summit before we wind up?
Absolutely. And the Ascent Summit is what I've got insider information is that there's a brilliant lineup of speakers, right? From Bhaskar Das from Tata and the Summit from Delivery. And there's a whole lineup of brilliant people coming in, but you can enter the summit only if you are an Ascent member. So if you are an Ascent member, then please register. Seating is as per how you register. So that's another inside information I'm giving you. And the next thing is that if you aren't an Ascent member, then try and apply for one, and maybe you could just sneak in to one into the summit. So
yeah, that's about it, guys. That's the link out there, ascentfoundation.in. Just get there, fill up the form, and the Ascent office is going to get in touch with you. That's it from us from this week, and we're gonna see you next week again, Friday at 11 a.m. as Aleem and me are slowly cruising to our 1 year mark. What do you say, buddy?
Absolutely. Can't believe it's happening.
That's right. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, guys. Thank you very much. See you soon next Friday.
Bye.
Bye bye.